Say I want to take an essay question and write about it for an assignment. So I'll copy the question that I'm going to answer, and then I'll go and put it into ChatGPT. Okay, so this teaches us a couple of things here. One, you can see that there weren't enough tokens left in the response to complete it. So I just prompted ChatGPT to finish, and then it completed the essay for me. So if you see your responses aren't quite finishing, that's one thing you can do. The second is I might be tempted to just copy and paste this into my submission and just let it go with that. But a good teacher who's paying attention to the submissions of their students are going to see a lot of indications here of AI. And I can notice some of the organizational structures, a lot of the introductory elements in the transitions for each paragraph, a lot of the examples. So I can just see by the structure, having seen quite a number of these now, that this is an AI submission. So if a student submitted this to me, they'd likely have a lot more work to do in order to get it to be something that would pass. In addition, I'm going to be paying a lot more attention to those students' submissions now because I'm noticing something that they posted is going to have all the hallmarks of AI. So they've just set themselves up for a little more scrutiny. So here's something that I would do instead. So I would go to something like the Hemingway app and paste in the AI submission. And now I'll go grab the rest of that. And you can see on this writing support app, it's showing me that almost every sentence in this essay is very hard to read. So what I want to do is try to change this so that it ends up being something that is easier to read and definitely not something at a 14 grade level. So I've got a lot of work to do. So I might take this, instead of just doing it like this and working with that, I might go right back to ChatGPT and ask for something a little bit different. Now, while it was writing, I thought maybe I would change this prompt even a little bit more. So I'm going to add the following. So now I'm asking it to take that essay, remove the headers for the sections, and introduce 6 common mistakes or typos into the essay. Include personal connections from a male student who is interested in video games. So that way it's going to maybe add a little personalized touch to some of these references. We'll see what happens. So I love that it referenced Frankenstein here, since that's the unit of the class that this came out of. The other thing that you'll notice is it's referring to itself in the first person and also putting the video game references in there. So that sounds something much more like something a student might write. And just so I know, so maybe that's something you can decide if you want to live with or not. I just threw those in there so you could see that students could use this and include typos. So I'm going to grab that essay now, back to Hemingway app. So now look at what happened. A lot of what was read before is either completely eliminated or significantly reduced. And now I just have a few sentences here that I need to fix up. I'll paste it into GPTZero and get results. And you can see that my text isn't likely to be written entirely by a human. It will highlight things it questions that are more likely to be written by AI, and you can see that I'm only using the preview version here, so I can get a good chunk of my text taken care of. But those kinds of changes in my prompt are significantly going to reduce the amount of text that's showing up as written by AI. As soon as I do anything to my prompts that go beyond just a simple question being answered, teachers that rely on tools like GPTZero or the AI classifier are going to struggle as ChatGPT and tools like it become more sophisticated. Let's check another one. So when I paste in the original version, it's unclear if it's AI generated. Let's grab that last one that I was going to use from the Hemingway app. And this one says possibly. So when I look at the different indicators, We go from very unlikely, unlikely, unclear, possibly, or likely. So if a teacher was using this one, I might have more changes that I want to make. So it's important then that I go through and then read this carefully and decide which kinds of changes I'd like to make to, one, demonstrate that these are ideas that I've approved of and that they are coming from me, or I can go in and plug in some of my own personal references and connections to truly make it something that's closer to my own conclusions.